Hi everyone, it's Helen here. I hope everyone's okay. So I just want to do a quick sound check and that you can see my hands doing stuff. And how is everyone today? I see Debbie's in there already, so hi Debbie. And I can see there's a few other people approaching in as well. So I've got the comments right in front of me here, so I can do my best to keep an eye on what everyone says. And I've got everything here in front of me, so this is what we're going to be working with today. It's this huge mess here. So I do have these brand new index cards. These are the smaller ones, and you do get a few more sizes in the pack, but this is the proper introduction to the new rail system for these cards as well. So they slide along here just like so, but I'll be going into further detail once more people have joined, because I don't want anyone to miss anything. So I'm just going to have a couple of minutes of chit chat. So if you're watching on replay and you don't want to listen to this part, you can just skip along, because that is the beauty of watching on replay. You can just skip to the bits that you need to, and if you're watching this again to make something, just skip to the bits that you need to skip to. Okay, so I've got mostly everything already prepared out, but let's talk about the week that's just gone. So I have got a brand new launch that launched on Monday at Hexagonal, and it's been an incredibly busy week. So if you're on here now, just pop onto the chat, say hi, and if you're watching on the replay and you're watching the chit chat, then come and say hi on there as well. I hope everyone's doing okay. And yes, I have had 2 weeks off. I've just been absolutely mega busy, and I did count how many Christmas in Julys I've done so far. I think this is the third one, but I do have another one lined up, so my aim is to get down 5. I know there's only, how many more days? Is there 31 days in July? So that's 6 more days, I think. Well, it's the 25th, so this is officially Christmas in July Day, because it's 5 months today until Christmas. 5 months. Have you started your Christmas shopping yet? So if you're on here, please pop along and say hi. I would love to hear what you're saying. And again, my chat's not working. Let me just escape out of here and see if I can get the chat working, because otherwise I'm just going to have to look all the way over there and the writing's quite small. So I'm trying to get this to work on my phone. Otherwise, if this is the second time this hasn't worked, so in that case I will have to think of a new solution. Okay, so I do have some new comments now. I can say hi Anne, and Sharon, hi Sharon, and Denise, hi Denise, and Robin, oh, she's from Michigan, wow. And yes, Debbie, 25% off my botanical collection at Craft Stash. I do have a couple of things to remind you or to let you know of before we proper dive into this. So it is Craft Stash that supply the Simply Made Craft, so they always have these excellent deals. They do the shipping and all the manufacturing and stuff. So I'm just going to pop on here some of the latest offers for Simply Made Crafts, and just need to go into the right place. So this is the first one. And that's 25% off the botanical collection. That was the previous launch that we've just had a couple of months ago, and that was all launched during lockdown, so that was a lot of fun. And the second offer are the albums. So I do have a brand new mini album size that is not included in this current offer, but everything else is 25% off the album collection. So let's have a quick look at that one. Okay, so it does go quiet there because it cuts out my microphone when I put the pictures up. I need to work out how to kind of get around that. But anyways, right, so let's get into the first, well not the first, but the project that we're doing today. So we're using 3 of my brand new die sets, and it's going to have a Christmas twist because I did on YouTube, on my channel, I did a voting, and by lunchtime today it was 46% on doing a Christmas project with my brand new release. So I've dug out 3. So the first one is the Suitcase die set. You've seen this before. I made this lovely suitcase over here. let me just grab it. Here we go. We did this over a few lives. And we have a brand new additions for this one. Now this one here is the Luggage Editions die set, and this is kind of like a memory index card system, and we have the track here that you fold up. So this is unique to me, as far as I know, and these notches here start on. So we have the long ones here, and we have a wider one here, and it was designed to go with the luggage, but you can use it in other boxes depending if you know you can get the length, and you can snip this down as well to the length you want. And then on the suitcase, I'm going to get quite fancy, I think, and I'm going to add a box frame. This is another release from the same collection. This is optional, you can just make the suitcase, but to make it a little bit more fancy because it's Christmas, I'm going to add a frame onto the front of the luggage as well, so just to make it a little bit different from things that I've made before, because I want to give you loads of ideas on what you can do. Okay, so you may have seen already the luggage one with the index cards in, and then we're going to be making another version of that one. And this one here you would have seen, I think, in one of the previews. I will link the video that it is definitely linked in the description box for my launch, where you just got to see everything in the launch. So this is made from half of the luggage, so it's like the base of the luggage. I've reinforced it with some chipboard on the sides and at the bottom, and as you can see here, I have the track going along the center, and I've used the medium sized cards for this one. But today we're going to be making the full set, so it's going to have the lid and it's going to close and everything, and we're going to be using this track here, the same track, but you can trim it down. It does have a notch in the die, which I will show you when we get to it, but you can trim this down so you can fit a track here and a track there, and then the cards are going to go across that way. It will all make sense. It will all make sense once we get to it. So let's start getting everything together. So the collection, I was so in love with the collection that we used last time in my previous video. I'm going to use it again. There's nothing wrong with using the same collection. You know, just go for it. If you like it, just go for it. And here it is. It is Cozy Christmas from Echo Park. It's a digital collection, and I got that from snapclicksupply.com. I don't think I have linked it, but I will add the link later. And at the moment, if you love Cartabella, all of their digital products are half price, 50% off. But because I like the Echo Park one, I'm going to stick with this one. So I'm going to cover the outside of the suitcase with that one. So before I delve into all of this, and while I'm doing all of my score lines, I'm going to quickly read the comments. So what I've done, you're going to be needing a large format die cutting machine for this, something that's going to take A4, because this is the die here for the suitcase, and that is almost A4. You literally get a little slither all the way around, and that's cut out. So I've cut myself 2 of these, and I've added some tape. I don't normally use tape in my demonstrations, but I thought I would make a little bit of a change, because you see me with my glue, and I will add a bit of glue here to the center. So I just need to make sure that the connection is okay, because I get really paranoid nowadays about things like that. So all seems to be fine. So I'm just going to hold the score lines while I read some of the comments. So hi Kim, hi Anastasia. Don't worry about being late, we've literally just got started. Hi Rita, yes, I am live. Oh, she's going to stop watching The Voice to watch this, more interesting. Hi Georgiana, North Carolina. What time is it in North Carolina? It is currently 20 to 9 in the evening here. Hi Lynn. I was going to say hello if you hadn't turned up. Don't worry, Lynn, you've not missed much at all. I'm just getting into it, and I've just shown everyone the unique index card system that we're going to be using today. So that this runs onto there and it slides along, and you get different sizes of these in the die set. So I am tempted to design some extra bits and bobs for this, just to jazz it up a little bit. So you know, index tabs and things like that. So that could be all to come. Okay, so I've taken all of the I've done all the scoring, and now I know that you've seen me do this before quite a few times, I think, especially with the live one that I made with that yellow one that I just showed you. So I'm going to be working with, as I said earlier, I'm going to be working with red tape today. Let's see if it's a little bit more of a challenge. Okay, so Lynn's asking, what is it? It's the new memory card system that fits inside the luggage. So you can have sliding memory cards, you can turn them into recipe cards, you can add photos, you can cut the photos out with them. So this piece here, this is this long piece here, this is going to be the join, and then you need to cut 2 of these and 2 of these. So I'm just going to add my tape to both sides. It probably would be quicker to use the glue, but it's Saturday evening and we're all chilling out. Now I don't have any ice cream, so I'm going to have to find something else in the kitchen. So I'm going to grab my spike here, see if I can find it. I unpacked this afternoon from my trip to Hexagonal. It was an overnight stay as well, so it was a really busy couple of days, Monday and Tuesday, but it went well. And if you missed any of those shows, they are available as reruns on hexagonal.com. Okay, so I have the score line here that I folded already, and just to make it a little bit easier, you can fold it again the other way, because it does kind of need to be in that sort of position. And then what I'm going to do is try not to get my head in the way. I'm going to glue this, stick that on there. Now this, I can tell straight away, will be a lot easier if you're using glue. Okay, that's the first one down. I didn't do too badly, I don't think. So let's take the second one off. So I've folded all of my score lines first, done my tape. Another thing that you can do before you assemble this together is to add all of your mats, but because mine's going to be directional, I don't want to put anything on upside down, because that would probably annoy me quite a bit. So okay, so we now have 2 of these stuck together. This is I've tried to put this together a few different ways. For me, this is the easiest way that you can get this together without it falling apart, where you can get your hands in to do these tiny little flaps here as well. Okay, so I'm going to start on this side here, and then I'm going to do the other side. So I don't know how well this is going to last or stick together well with the red tape on the actual craft cardstock, because I know sometimes when I've made things with craft cardstock, the only thing that keeps things sticking down really well is to use glue. So I'm just going to add a bit more glue here. This is just going to add it. It means I get the instant stick, and it's strong as well. So what I'm doing is with this line here, I'm lining it up with the corner. There we go. Just like that. And then I have a really good, nice, neat corner that way. That is pretty much what I aim for during construction. That is what's going to give this a really good finish, and it makes the whole load of difference between something that's well made and something that kind of looks like it was put together rather quickly. So Okay, so let's pop this one on the other side. There we go. So I just had to say that because I do get a lot of questions on how to make things neat. It's just lining up your corners. It's just the little things like that. Okay, so I'm not going to close this up because then it's going to be really hard for me to get my hands in to do the last finishing touches. So I'm going to work on the ones on the other side now. These things are sticking to my hand. Hoping I'm still in frame. I should be. Okay, so let's pop that up. See, as you can tell, it's getting a little bit fiddly now, but because I haven't closed this end here, I can still get my hand in just to kind of just press that down. Pressing down is important. Okay, so let's do the last one now. Sorry if this is completely vertical and you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm sure you can work out what I'm doing here because I've done this already on the other ones. Okay, let's pop that on. And now we can do the last finishing touches. So I'm just going to go around and take all of these backings off here. I'm going to have a huge mess, I think, when I'm finished. It's funny, at Hochanda, they all kept saying, the presenters all kept saying, oh, you're such a neat crafter. You know, I suppose I was quite neat compared to some of the mess that some of the other guests make, because they get all the inks out, they have everything that they need to use, whereas I'm just mostly doing, you know, the construction, so I didn't really make much of a mess, but I am a person that piles things up, so I guess I'm a piler. I don't know if there's anyone else that's a piler here, but I'm definitely not a put-awayer, although I do try. Okay, let's finish this off. We're almost there. And I have mostly die cut everything that I'm using today, and if you've just joined us, yes, I am adding glue onto the top of my double-sided tape. It means I get instant stick because of the double-sided tape, and I just want that extra security that this suitcase is going to last and not fall apart, because sometimes dry adhesives, like the tapes, I know red line tape is really good, but some dry adhesives can deteriorate and then your projects fall apart. Okay, so here we have the suitcase. Right, just going to bend this round just like that, and we'll choose, this will be our base. So we have these other three here that I've cut. So I've got another long one, two short ones. These have score lines. It's going to be hard to tell because I'm using craft cardstock, and these pop in right up to the score line, and that is going to be your guiding line on how far to glue them down, and this is going to help support the lid. And I do have another tutorial on the yellow suitcase, the summer suitcase, where I did use some grey board just to make it super sturdy. So there's loads of ways that you can, you know, just play with this suitcase really. So I'd love to see a smaller version of this, so maybe, see, I'm getting loads of ideas now, loads of ideas. That's kind of how things just develop in my brain, because the suitcase came first. Had no idea that I was going to design an index card system to go inside. I had no idea when I designed the luggage. So, you know, that's how things go. So let me quickly read some of the comments again. So hi Juju. Okay, so I now have my supporting pieces, so let's have a quick test because the glue is still sort of wet, so that should close in just like so. So we're almost ready now to start with the indexing. Okay, No, I need to keep that closed. What am I doing? Okay, so I now have some of the cardstock here that I've printed out. So let's get some measurements. So these measure 8 by 4 3/4. I should put this back. There you go, I'll put it back. Can't lose it. So I'm going to put this one on. This is where I have to make a decision, because I'm putting my frame on. It's going to have wording on it, and this is directional because it has words. So I want this suitcase to kind of be sitting on a shelf like this, upright. So I'm going to have my writing that way. Even though we'll be turning it round and opening it, it will be upside down, but I'll be adding a frame to this as well. So I'll be adding the new 6x4 frame box onto the front of the suitcase. And again, if you want to, you can mat these as well. So maybe if you wanted a bit of gold foiling behind this, you can do that. Okay, so I'm going to keep the direction of everything. Do my best to stay consistent. And then we can move on to the box frame. I'm sure you already want to see me do the index system as well. That's the fun part. Yes, so we are actually going to be cutting out some photos. I just read Robin's comment there. So we are going to be cutting out actual photographs using the index card dies. So this is going to be a really fun little thing to play with, and it's going to be perfect for Christmas, you know, birthdays, any occasion. Okay, so I've pre-prepared some of the corners. So you get, in the suitcase die set, you get these circles here, and they have the little slit there. So we can fold these up, and then we're going to glue one of the tabs next to the split there, and then we'll glue that into place, and then we can glue these onto here. So if you want to go in with your distress vintage photo ink, you can ink the sides of this. I might go on and do my inking after this. We'll see how it looks after I've done this, because you can always ink the edges after you've put this together and you've decided it needs it. So I've done 4 for this side, and now all I need to do is cut another 4 for the other side. So did I put this on the right side? Nope, I've put them on the bottom. Okay, we'll kind of do half and half, because this box looks exactly the same from the outside now. So just adding glue here just to all of the 3 sides, and then that pops on. Okay, so now I'm ready for my frame, which I have already cut out because I don't really want to bore any of you guys, and all of these things do take a little bit of time. So what I've done is what I would do naturally. I would do all of my die cutting. I'd think about my project, do my die cutting, and some things I like to add in as I go along and make decisions, but I kind of had a good idea on what I was doing or wanted to do. So let's have a quick look at this one. This is the 6x4 box frame, and you also get the dies here, so you can add intricate trellises to the sides, and you also get a corner die as well, and also these words here. So there are 2 of these sets. There's a 6x4 and a 7x5. Now I made this one on Tuesday live on air, and luckily it didn't take me too long actually, but these are the words here. So they fold over to make it super sturdy, and I have that up on foam pads, and I've used my brand new papers as well. It's a textures pad, so there's loads of different things for loads of different occasions, so you can put them towards like your bags and also a baby theme as well. So we have this 6x4, this is the 7x5, and you can just, you know, keep them, do them individually, or do what I've done. I've just glued them together to make a nice like montage, I guess. So these frames are pretty pricey to buy in the shop, so it's absolutely great that you can make your own. Personally, I would make these out of black, but black isn't very good for black card isn't very good for demonstrating on camera, because it's really hard to see, or it affects the white balance and it goes super bright. So those are the frames. So all you need to do is cut out 2, which I've done, and I folded everything over. So all we have to do now is glue these together, just like that. So let's add the glue, and I'm using Cosmic Shimmer. I have absolutely no idea whether it's in stock or not. I don't think Lou is here tonight. I didn't see her earlier on Jeanette's live earlier as well, so I'm hoping she's alright. Maybe she's gone on holiday. Okay, so I'm going straight up to these lines here. The reason why I said that is because Lou always knows whether it's in stock or not, or she goes and has a look. So oh, I heard the back door, so I think someone's putting the chickens to bed. We gave them a treat today. I ordered a big tub of mealworms. Ugh, they're really horrible to touch, and yeah, they only need a little bit of a handful, just a little bit of extra protein. It's going to help them to lay. So here I have a 6x4 piece of card from the collection. I'm just going to trim that down slightly. So yeah, the chickens are growing nicely. So I keep saying they'll be laying soon, they'll be laying soon, but because we don't know how many weeks they were when we got them, we know they were young. So I'm thinking they were younger than what I thought they were. So I'm thinking they must have been around about 12 weeks, because they were still making their little chick noises, although some of the noises they were making were grown up, but they're making proper grown up chicken noises now. So can't be too long. Okay, so I've just trimmed this down just to slightly under 6x4, just so I know that all of the sides are going to fold up, and I've just added some red tape along the last line of each side. So I'm just going to glue this down, and you would do this if you were using a photo as well. So I'm going to add the word Christmas onto this page once I have the frame down. Okay. Oh, Debbie, it's out of stock. I've got a full bottle, so I'm happy. I'm happy. This will last me probably till September, hopefully. Okay, so I've got everything done. So we're going to, actually I need to add a little bit of glue to help me here, even though I have the red tape. I have a couple of tips. Okay, so we're going to start with the straight sides first, and then the sides with the angles go in last. So let's just take this off. Oh, it didn't stick to me that time. All I'm going to do is just add this line here, line it up with the score line there, and then I'm going to roll it. And because I'm using tape, I need to get it right the first time. So if you want to use glue, then use glue, but bear in mind, if your photograph is shiny, glue might take a little bit of time to dry. So, and also use something acid-free. Use acid-free adhesive if you want to glue your photo to your cardstock, because that is going to preserve your photograph. So if you've ever experienced old vintage photos, or photos from the 70s or 80s, even the 90s, where you have them in albums and they start to get like orange, that is the acid in the photo album that is now damaging your photograph. That is what causes that. It's the acid and the lignin in the papers and in the albums. So it's always best to go for acid-free adhesive and acid-free and lignin-free paper and card. So if you've ever read that on the fronts of scrapbooking papers and collections, and you've sometimes wondered why it's acid and lignin free, that is why, because it's archival safe, it's safe for your photos, and it will help protect them. Okay, so we're now going to work onto the sides. So I'm going to do, let's do this side first. So I'm going to add some extra glue here. So I'm going to add the glue onto these side tabs here. I'm not being too careful on those because it's going to be hidden. And if you see these corners just here and this corner just there, I'm going to add a double glue just to those corners there. And that is going to help stick the corner together when we roll it round. So I need to be quick now because I've added my glue. Let's get that off. And yep, Debbie said, oh no, Lynn says the 30mm is still in stock. So if you really need that glue, then you can get it in the 30. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that onto there and then roll it. There we go, and then hold that in place. And that glue here, as you can see, is going to keep this frame, because sometimes when you make frames it can get a bit funny here and a bit loose or start to fall apart a little bit. So that's looking nice. Let's do the last one. And again, this is the 6x4, and there's also a 7x5 available too, and that comes with the words family and friends. Okay, so again, I'm just going to roll this over and pop that down. So this is a really super easy, someone actually said this was a really super easy frame for this particular die to put together, so I'm glad about that. I'm glad someone, you know, at least found it easy to put together. Sometimes you do design something and then you wonder how people are going to get on with it. Okay, so here I have my odd assortment of corners. We are going to double check that is the bottom, that is the bottom here, so this is the top, and I'm going to turn it like that. That is the orientation I need it to be in, and then I'm going to glue this onto the front. Now that sort of reminds me of television. You can get super creative, you know, you can even cut a hole in there and have a nice display inside with LEDs. Oh, I think I might want to make one of those. Let me know if you can visualize what I'm trying to say. Let me know. So what I'm saying is, if I cut a hole there, pop the frame over and create a nice winter wonderland inside the luggage, and then maybe even use the 3D trees. I have a massive bag of them here. I'm digressing, I know, but you know, I've only got little ones there, but I have to get some bigger ones in. But you know, that would look really good with some LED lights lighting it up. That would look like a fabulous Christmas ornament on a shelf. You can even glue the case shut as well. Okay, so it's really coming together. I need to add my handle now because it's not looking like a suitcase just yet. It looks like a box. Okay, so I've cut my handle out here, and it comes with the score line, so you can fold those up. And to curve the handle, I'm just going to take my bone folder and just run it gently across, just like that, and then that's going to give it a nice curve. And then I'm just going to double check again. Yep, I have done it right. Always double check. I'm just going to add glue now to these folded tabs. And then if you want to, you can mat these. I'm just going to add that there, and if you want a super strong handle, just cut 2 of these handles, glue them together, and then pop them on here. Okay, that looks straight to me. And the nature of using the wet glue, I know I've got a bit of wiggle room to move it. Okay, right, let's get on with the buckles now, because I really want to get on with the index system, because I want to show you how it works. It's so cool. Okay, so these are going to be my straps. I've cut 6, but I probably don't need 6. I can put them back into the, I sometimes put extra die cuts that I've cut back into the die set, because then I know I can use them again. I'm hoping the lighting is okay. That suitcase might be hiding a few things, so I'm just going to glue this buckle, this strap here. It's pretty hard to see because it's on craft cardstock, and not the most easiest to see on camera. When I went onto Hexagonal for the very first time, I was advised that crafting with pastel colours, white, black, browns and craft cardstocks don't show up very well on the camera, so all my demonstrations kind of have to be on like brighter paper, just like this, brighter cardstock. I can see that point as well. And again, with magazines, they advise that as well. When you're doing commissions for magazines, you know, kind of stay away from the craft cardstock if you can. Okay, so I've got these two down now, and I've done some gold buckles. I thought about gold or silver, but I thought gold would go better with the collection that I'm using. So just adding a bit of glue here. I'm not going around the sides because they come off the sides. And if you see this join here, that's where I'm going to put the top part of the buckle. Or if you want to get super fancy, before you glue this on, well, it might still work, you can slide this down just like that, but I would have that part hiding the join. As long as something's covering the join, it should be okay. But I like to see the entire buckle, even though it's not proper realistic. Okay, let's glue that one on. So I glued these together next to each other, so I would get the same length and everything is in the right place. Okay, let's grab the box. Happy with that, and I'm going to have the closure this side. On some of my other luggages, my other suitcases, I've gone round, but because that actually does look quite nice just on the side there. I'm stuck now. What do I do? All right, I'm going to let you guys decide. Do I pop them here? I'm going to use Velcro. Do I have the closure here, or do I have the closure coming round onto the frame from there? I'd have to go down a bit lower, but from there I'd say I think that looks really nice, but I'm going to let you guys decide, so I'm going to wait for your comments for that. In the meantime, I'm going to turn it over, and I have some extra straps here, so I'm just going to glue them on here. And it's hard to tell, but there is some stitching on these ones because it's craft cardstock. But if you add a bit of distressed ink, vintage photo or something like that, then that will show up. Okay, so Gillian saying front, Lynn saying front with exclamation marks. I think it's going to be the front. Just need to make sure I have this all in the right place. Okay, so Anne saying front, Gillian saying front. Yep, only 3 people have said the front, but that's pretty much unanimous, I'd say. Let's just pop that on. Oh, that's not even. That's the nature of glue. We can move it around until it sets. Okay, that's the front done. Okay, you've all spoken. It's going to go onto the front, so let's just grab my Velcro tabs. Okay, so I forgot to add these, but these are from Amazon. They're the oval ones, and they're the pack of 100, and as you can see, I've been going through them. Okay, so I'm going to grab my scissors. I love how they're on this bit of clear plastic that rolls up. You can just trim off whatever you need. Okay, and then the other great thing, I bought the ovals so that I could cut them in half. Okay, that's the first one. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to add them to the frame. There, I think I'll do that one. And we'll add the other one to the other side. This is the top still. getting paranoid now. I've made so many things the wrong way round, upside down, and my attention span kind of shrinks by about 50% when I go live as well. That's when I'm on her channel or when I'm on here. I just don't have that processing power. I don't know, maybe I need a new processor. Okay, that was an IT joke, by the way. Okay, right, so I have my Velcro added here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the backing off there. Oh, by the way, my jokes aren't that funny, by the way, so I could definitely do with some more power in my brain. But I'm not a believer of tanking myself up on caffeine. Maybe I should get more sleep. That might fix it. Okay, so I'm going to add, this needs to come to be glued on the bottom half, and I need to be able to come round and add that there. Okay, there we go. There's the first one. This is looking really cute. Make sure that is straight. That looks straight. It is straight, but I need to move it along. There we go. Oh, that looks like a proper little satchel, Christmas satchel. That does. I love that. Okay, and I don't think we even need to do any folding or bending because that's just going to curve around there. So let's add glue now to just this top half here, and I promise we're going to get to the memory index system after this. Okay, so let's pop that down, and I'm just going to undo this Velcro here because I need to get my hands inside there now to get that in the right place. Okay, let's open this up without moving them too much. Naturally, I'm a bull in a china shop. I drop stuff, I break stuff, so I do find it difficult to be really careful. There we go. I think that's okay. I'm going to have to bend these this way because these are going to get in the way. So just create a little fold and those will come forwards when you have your index system open. Okay, let's move on now. I'm going to pop this over there to dry properly. So let's move over to the track or the rail and the cards. Okay, so I've shown this a couple of times now in this video, but I'll show you again. Okay, so this is the track or the rail, and these are the cards. As you can see, they have the notch here and they slide. You can either slide them on from the back and they sit there and they run along. So you can have, if you imagine, you can have quite a few on here. I won't be filling it up completely, but you can have quite a few on there. And they come off like that. So if you don't want to slide it on from the back or the front, all you have to do is just press it down on one side, twist it slightly, and then it goes on just like that. I'll do it a little bit higher. It just goes on just like that, and then it slides. Okay, so let's make the other one. I have one ready made, so I just need to make one more. So for this indexing system, you only need a small Big Shot or a small die cutting machine, you know, like a standard sized Big Shot. So I'm just going to bring mine out here. This is a brand new Big Shot. This came last week because something went inside and it rattled. It wasn't very good, so I wasn't about to undo all of the screws to find out, so I was in a hurry getting ready for her chander, so I just ordered another one and it came the next day. Okay, so let's grab the die set. This is the Luggage Editions die set, and I'm going to pull out the track. You get 4 dies in this one, and this tracking system here is unique to Simply Made Crafts, and you have here a notch. It'll create a little notch in your card as you run it through, and that's so that you can trim it down to fit inside the luggage if you want to go from there to there. If you want to go from here to here and just have one long one going down this way, then leave it as it is. You won't need to trim it down. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly turn this on its side slightly because I like to turn it. It goes through a lot smoother. Okay, and I'm going to use red tape for this as well, but you won't be able to see it because I have red card. Okay, let's pop this back in here. I like to let's be tidy now, let's be tidy. Okay, so I'm going to fold all of these score lines now. So again, I've done the first one. It might be easier if I cut this beforehand. So let's find the notch. I need to trim this one down. Where is the notch? The lighting isn't that great in here. It's showing up okay on the camera, but I can't find the notch. Oh, there it is. It was lower down. I was looking up here. It's down here. Okay, the notch is there. I don't know whether you'll be able to see. So I'm just going to cut up in a straight line. You can use a trimmer if you want to. There we go. And that is what we need. So fold all your lines down. I'll give you sizes in a moment, Robin. So did you need the sizes of the actual index cards? Okay, so everything is now folded. So I'm going to add some red line tape now. It's just the easiest thing to do here. I've tried it with glue. It's a little bit fiddly with glue. So the two outer sections, this section here and this section, are slimmer than the other sections. So they are differently sized so that we get that tapered shape, the 3D tapered shape. I'm just going to press this down with my bone folder because that really pushes it into the cardstock and makes it a lot easier to lift this off. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this to the side here. Probably wondering what I'm doing. So before you actually pop this together and glue it, have a test run, a dry test run first, of how this is going to fold in on itself and come together just like that. And because I've still got the backing on there, I can see how this and feel how this goes together. So let's start this off. Oh, this can be a bit fiddly, so I'm moving this off to the side here, just starting it off. Then I'm going to press it. Then what I'm going to do is just guide everything in the right place and then pull that out and then press that and then pull the rest of that out. And there we have our track, and the cards are going to slide onto that. There we go. Okay, so Robin says yes please. Okay, so let me grab my ruler, which I did put away. First card, which is the smallest, measures 3¼ by 3 inches. So when you have the luggage, it's going to be the height of the luggage, as you can see. So it's best not to add anything over the top on there or have anything sticking out. If you want to have stuff sticking out, make an open topped one with the base of the luggage, and then you can have photographs along the top there. And I've even stapled on some rickrack and added loads of extra interest, and I haven't finished adding things in here. I've got loads of room here to add more. And for this one I've used the medium sized card, so let's pop one of these out. So again, the height is the same because they all need to fit inside the suitcase if you're doing the enclosed version. So that's 3 inches by 4½. And if you're wondering, oh, my photos aren't going to fit, you can actually use the dies to cut your photographs out. And then where's the other ones? Here we are. These are the long ones. These are double. These are double here, so you can have them twinned onto your track. So again, these are 3 inches high by 7 inches long, and that will take the width of the suitcase in there. So I'm going to take 2 of these, get my twin tracks here, got those ready to go. I'll take 2 of these and I'm going to attach them to each side. So there is a possibility that they might fall off, so I'm definitely going to be using glue. I might not need the second one. I'm just going to keep this in the middle, turn it over, there we go. And then I'm going to add my glue to the bottom side of the track. So as you can see, that it's wider at the top, and the shorter side is what's glued to the bottom. And another great thing about this is nothing falls out if it gets turned upside down. They're all locked on. Okay, so I'm now ready to transfer this over to the thing. So the reason why I'm doing this way is because it's going to give me my spacing and my distance so that I can actually have these twin cards in there. So I'm just going to add my next one in before the glue dries, and I'm going to have them at the bottom here and at the top. I'm going to slide my card just like that. I know that they're both straight and that there's no odd one going diagonally slightly, which will mean that the card won't slide. And so I'm happy with that. That is how easy this index system is. And again, you can use it for addresses, you can use it for photographs, mini albums, memory keeping, recipe cards. I think I said recipe cards. And another thing one of the presenters of Hechanda said, which was a really, really good idea, you can use this for your swatches. So if you have sprays and, you know, inks and things like that, you can just cut a whole bunch of these out of watercolor paper or textured paper or card, do your spray, and then you can have all of your swatches in there, and you can just go for it. You know, you can just handwrite all your labels on there and things like that. So there's absolutely loads of things that you can use this for. And again, memory recipe cards is a really good one as well. So I'm going to have my long ones at the back there and pop that in. Okay, so here I have all of my other cards. The medium card won't fit. It can do, but it means it won't slide if there's a shorter card in the way. So I save this one for when I have it in this orientation here, the long way, which would be this way here. So there's so many different ways that you can do this. Okay, I don't think I need my glue out anymore. So let's do a little bit more die cutting now. As I said earlier, I said I was going to show you how to actually do this cut out your photograph. So I have just some Epson presentation paper here, but this will work with glossy photos. You know, I'm sorry if that's a bit boomy. I stepped on my microphone wire. Yeah, not a good thing to do. Still plugged in, I think. Hopefully you can all still hear me. Okay, let's grab the big shot out. I have a photograph here of my Christmas pudding with some holly. This is a young leaf of holly before it's gone all spiky, but it has the holly berries there, so it's still nice and festive. And that was brought over by Mr. G's grandmother one Christmas, so that was good. And she came over and goes, "Oh, I've got some holly for the pudding." Okay, so let's grab, I'm going to be working with the smaller one, and then I want to do a bigger one too. I want to show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, let's start with the smaller one first. All I'm going to do is just remember that this notch here always goes at the bottom. And then we're going to pop it on just like that. Line it up. And again, you can get creative with your printer, different sizes. I just use the software that comes with it. You know, go into the folder, find the photograph, highlight all the ones you want to print, and then you right click, press, and then print comes up in the options, and then it takes you to the settings. So here we have our card, so we can grab this now and we can just pop that in. Now this is the easiest way to do your December daily, because you don't have to think about layouts and getting fancy. You know, that stress or those jobs kind of stop people from getting started, because they think, oh, I've got to do all this, that's going to take me ages, I can't do a little bit every day. But if you just print out your photographs that you want and just use this die here just to cut it out, then all you've got to do is pop that in. And if you want to, you can add stickers and words on it and things like that. So there's absolutely loads that you can do, and it makes it really super easy and straightforward too, so you're not actually put off from doing it. Okay, so I'm going to use this one now to cut out some larger photos. So I have two photos here. I have one's a local house here. They go to town every single year. It's for charity, and they have a massive light display. And every year my kids love to go and look at it, because sometimes they have new ones added. I think they add a one or two every year, a few new lights. And I think sometimes, I haven't worked it out yet, I need to compare all the photographs, but sometimes I think he's put it together in a different configuration. Okay, so I think I'm going to be happy with that. So I've printed these photographs out at 5x7. There we go. It would be slightly upside down. I would be storing the case on its side like that. That's going to be the front. So I'll be storing it on its side. But the beauty about this is I'm going to turn this upside down, give it a bit of a shake, and the cards haven't fallen out. They haven't fallen out. That's really bad grammar, isn't it? They have not fallen out, so because they are literally locked on with the angles that were used. Okay, there is our first one. So there's space here that I can add something. I can add some writing, I can add a sticker or a piece of card over there with some writing on there. So I'm just going to pop this in there. If you can imagine this full of your photographs and memories of your Christmas, and all you've got to do is just add a couple of bits and bobs just to make it super nice. That's it. That is it. That's all you've got to do. So let's do one more. This is my son. This is when he'd just learned to write. I'm just going to turn this over now because this has got squishy. You see? there's a slight bend in there. When it gets to that stage where you can press that down, that just means you've got to turn it over, and then that will keep your bottom plate straight. And my top plate I don't use for cutting at all, so then it doesn't even mark anything on the top. Okay, so again, notches at the bottom, and I've got my tree in the background there, so it kind of just adds to the festivity. So I just want his little bit of writing there. And what he's doing is he's writing out Christmas cards for everyone in his class. So he had about 30 to write out, and then the teacher's one as well, because he's always got to write one for himself as well, so he gets a card. My daughter did that too. So do you remember being at school writing your Christmas cards out for all your friends? I do remember that too. It used to take ages. It took him a good few days. I remember one summer, we actually started in the summer because we had some leftover cards, and I said, let's just do the Christmas cards, and then we put them away, and then it was done by the time we got to December. So if you have a bit of spare time now, write your Christmas cards. Okay. Here is our second one, and again there's space here and there's space here for me to, like, you know, write the story or what Jamie's doing, or, you know, add the date and things. So I'm just going to add this in between these cards here. And then what I'm going to do is add some of the other cards that I have cut out. So I've got loads here. I'm going to turn this suitcase into a December daily. So again, I'm going to go back to these advent numbers. Whenever I see packs like this, I always grab about 3, because these are so useful, and I prefer to have these in sticker form instead of something you would die cut, because die cutting all of these numbers isn't really one of my favourite jobs. Okay, so there is no stick on that, so I think we discovered that last time I used them in the last video. So I'm going to use glue, and that will just keep them in place as well, because sometimes these stickers, you stick them on and then they just fall off. So this is going to be my December daily for this year. I'll take those ones out and I'll pop those in another one. I'll probably make a different version for those. So this is going to be my Christmas 2020. So there is day 1. So I would probably do this before we get to December, and then get all of my cards in, and then once we get to December, I'm then going to print off my photos and then die cut them with the index cards, and then pop them in. And that is something I know I can commit to and do, because that is just super easy. So there's number 2, day number 2. So I can print off as many photos as I want. You're not limited to how many pages you leave for your photographs to fit them in. So there's not a lot of forward planning for that. I can fit as many as I want in there. If you see these, how they, I'll show you on this one, how much space there is. It looks like there's loads here, and there are loads here. But look, this is the space they take when they're squished together. And you can still flick through them when they're close together like this, you know. So I've just spread them out there just to kind of make it seem a little fuller, so you can get an absolute stack of photographs in this album. So let's add a couple more of these numbers, and then I'm going to add the word Christmas to the front of the luggage inside the frame, because I want the frame to be nice and decorative, and then that will be the finishing touch. And again, you can make them double-sided as well. So I would probably put a photograph upside down on there, so that you kind of, when you're scrolling through, that will be upside down, and you will see that from bird's eye view, so you won't have to turn it around. So let's get number 4 put on. I just absolutely love these papers. Again, these are digital papers from Echo Park, and it's called Cozy Christmas. Actually, I do have I think I have a poster. Let me just pop that up. there we go. That was the Cozy Christmas. And this one here, that's for the 25th, because 25th today, so it's 5 months exactly until Christmas. It's not long. The months are just going to fly by now. But just look at these lovely prints. So I did use this for my other album that I did 2 weeks ago. That was the last time I was live, and gotta admit, I am feeling a bit rusty after the 2 weeks off. I was super rusty over at Hexagonal. I'll pop that at the back there. Hadn't been out for 5 months properly, and you know, I'd only been to the local shop really. So okay, so let's finish this off now. Let's close this up, and yes, this will be upside down when you close it, but I want this to be displayed upright, sitting upright on a shelf. So let's close that one. I might add another bit of Velcro just at the bottom there, just to help it. And another thing you can do is sometimes you can just curl these out, because when you have real bags, that's what happens. They kind of curl outwards. So I've gone into my stash and I found some glittery words. These are wood chip words. These are by Do Crafts. I have no idea if they're still available, but there's, you know, there are loads of things that you can do to recreate something like this. You can, if you have a word that says Christmas, that's die cut, you can do that. You can make your own. So I'm going to pop this in here just like that. It's not, that might fit. Yeah, okay, I'm going to have it like that. It doesn't have to be completely diagonal. I kind of like it like that. And then at the bottom here, I'm going to find some numbers. I think does Christina have numbers in her pack? I need to get some numbers. No, these are my favourite alphabet dies, along with my own. If I can find them, they do have 25% off. Yeah, they do have 25% off at the moment from the album collection. These do have numbers, so I can do the 2020 from that die set there. Let me just quickly put up the poster again. Whoops, whoopsie, wrong photo. So anyways, that has 25, I think it's 25% off. There's no code for that one at all, so you can just add that on. It's the on the shopping pages, it's already reduced, and that will end, I'm not too sure, there's a good few days left of that still, so I will pop down in the description the ending date for that offer. So I'm just adding just the glue to this big C here. Oh no, Debbie. She said, I remember making them when I was 14 and all the boys threw them away. Oh. I went to, my senior school was a girls' school, so I guess all of my cards were safe. Okay, there we go. So all I need to do now is add my 2020, and I think I will go round with some distress ink. I'm going to use this one here, Vintage Photo. This is not the oxide, it's the original, the distress ink one. I'm just going to go round with, I won't do it now, but I'll be using one of my this is a makeup brush. Though I have seen the new John Locke ones. I saw John Locke, he was there on Monday. It's exciting. Or was he there Tuesday? I think the days are merging. He was there for one of the days that he was doing his magazine box. So yes, he was there. It's exciting to see everyone there. Okay, so I'll be doing this off camera, but as I was saying, I want his brushes. That is the next thing I think I'm going to get his brushes. Okay, so that is today's project. So I hope you enjoyed this one. So again, this is just going to open up like that. Open it like this, so whoever's watching you will get a nice view from that. That actually adds a nice bit of weight to the front as well. And then you just slide these through. So I'll add a few more numbers while I chit chat, but that is how you put together the memory index card system, and this system here is unique to me. I had a lot of fun making up this one. It's a very simple design, but I had a lot of fun and it's very effective. And again, the cards, they stay in, they don't fall out. Not that you'd be doing that naturally. Okay, so let's start with the number 5 now. So okay, so everything I've used today is listed down below in the description box. I just need to cough. So everything's listed down below. If you missed the launch video that I did, what day was it? Was it Tuesday morning, I think? That's on my YouTube channel, and I will link, that is already linked down below. And this Friday I will be on the Craft Stash Live, the Craft World Live, for the Craft Stash launch of this collection. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to be making, but I think I'm going to put together the camera. If I will have to be working with things that are still in stock, so I really want to get the camera done as well. Debbie's asking, can I show the size of the alphabet? Okay, these are a lovely size. I use these in my scrapbooking and mini albums. Okay, so the height is 1 inch. I should have known that. I have so many measurements to remember. I do know my brand new mini album size. It's a brand new mini album size to the collection. That measures 5 inches by 3 3/4. There we go. But I do want to show you these ones too, because these are my absolute favourites too. They are different to these ones, but when you're scrapbooking, it's nice to have a different, like a variation of words and letters and fonts. So the smaller case, I just love that shape of it reminds me of the basic grey font. I love basic grey. Okay, these lower ones are 1 1/8. And that is the lowercase alphabet from Card Making Magic. And then in the same font but in capitals, these are a bit larger. As you can see, they are a bit larger. These measure 1 7/8 of an inch. So these are perfect for scrapbooking titles and adding to your mini albums. And this one, because for years and years and years, I go for alphabets. I buy alphabet dies. I buy the stickers. I'm just alphabet mad because I use it for scrapbooking an awful lot. So I'm really super excited to have one of my own. Even though I love Christina's, I'm just super excited to have one of my own. So I would like to get a couple of other ones in different fonts. Okay, so we've got number 5 here. Oh, Lynn's saying she has the alphabet size and not used it yet. I'm sure the perfect project will come along, and then you'll think, I've got the perfect die set for that. So as long as you have it there waiting, ready to go, and as long as you remember you have it, then you're good to go. So I'm just going to add a couple more of these numbers. And again, I might even add the advent. What I'm going to do, I think, this isn't completely finished because I still have the inside to do, but I'll probably line the back here with some paper, and I might add the advent, or I might add December daily. And another thing, what I could have done, which I didn't, so I could have lined the bottom as well before you add the tracks. So I'm just going to have to make do with that one. But to be honest, it's not gonna really, ruin my day or bother me. Oh no, the capitals are out of stock for the Card Making Magic. Well, I'm sure they'll be back soon. We're getting orders in every now and then now, so this is a number 6 that goes that way around. So I do know my large binding is out of stock, but it is due back very, very soon, I've been told. So shouldn't be too much longer to wait for that one, because I want to get on with my my mini album series that I've been working on. But it's been difficult to do that in between everything that I have to do for Simply Made Crafts, and with things going out of stock, because the last thing I want to do is, you know, tease you all with things that you can't buy. So there's the number 7. So what's everyone else got planned for the rest of the day? I'm just going to hang around for a little while. So Kim's saying she hope they're back because she's waiting for them. Have you pre-ordered them? Are they on pre-order, or are you just going to wait for them to come back in? I think there's a place where there's definitely a place where you can add your email, and it will tell you. You'll be the first to know when they're back in stock. Oh, Lynn, she needs to tell her daughter she wants the alphabet dies. Yes, they have 25% off, I think, at the moment. So they are on special. I think it's just to celebrate the release of the brand new mini album size. There's the number 9. Again, it looks like it's really, you know, padding out, but if you squeeze them together, there's still loads of room here. So I'm going to do 12 this side, and I'm going to do 12 this side, and then I have loads of extras at the back for the long ones. So what is next for me? I will have Craft Stash Live, the Craft World Live. I keep calling it Craft Stash Live, but the Craft World Live on Friday. I've just finalised another collection that will be out in a month or just over a month's time. Oh, that 10 needs to be over there. It's a 10, isn't it? And I want to carry on with my Christmas in July series as well, so I want to get a couple more videos out to you. I've done a bit of prep actually, so you can get a sneak peek. This is what we're going to be working with in the next Christmas in July video. They are bright pink poinsettias, so I'm hoping these are going to remain in stock. Otherwise I will save those for my main Christmas videos. So if they don't pop up, it means that they've gone out of stock, because I'm not going to, you know, tease you with things that you can't get. Okay, so that's number 10. So Gillian's asked for a purple camera. Oh, I have. What shade of purple? I have a few different shades of purple. I'm just thinking, do I have any papers that I can match with it? I'll probably be advised to use my new papers to go with that, but we will see. So yeah, I love my poinsettias. I do. I still have my poinsettia. I've kept it alive from Christmas. So I'm happy about that, and I do actually need to repot it because it's got quite big. It's looking a bit sad now because it's got too big for its pot, so it definitely needs to be potted on. So I'm just going to do the last one here for 12, and if you can imagine, there'll be another row on this side. I'll pop the 12 here, but there'll be another row on this side, and you can imagine all of your photos in between each number. It's so easy for you to do. You don't have to do very much planning. I say this again, I'm going to say it again, because it's just so easy to do your December daily album. Just print off your photos, die cut them with the dies, and pop them in. That's all you got to do. If you want to add journaling, you can do so. You can then add you can write on these cards as well. Yes, add the 12 here. There we go. Let's pop this in at the back. I'm just going to add these in here now just to keep them safe. There we go. Oh no, I don't want that. That's too matchy. There we go. That is a word, matchy. People do use it, so it's real. Okay. I'm going to pop this on there. So yeah, Gillian, what shade of purple? I've got light purple, I've got dark purple. I would, yeah, I'd really like to know. Okay, I'm just reading the comments now. So yes, Lynn, they have 25% off at the moment. I don't know when it finishes. I think it's till the 29th of June. You know what? I can always open up my emails and have a look. Let's have a look, because I had an email the other day telling me all of this stuff. Okay, so 60% off Christmas in July ends on the 2nd of August. The 25% off Simply Botanical collection ends the 1st of August. And the album collection, 25% of the album collection ends the 29th of July. So yeah, I was right on that. So with all of the others, you've got the botanical collection, that's with the beautiful peonies and the greenhouse. All of that has 25% off. That ends the 1st of August. And if you pop along to Craft Stash, they do have a Christmas in July section, up to 60% off, so there'll be a mixture of different discounts on there. So you have until the 2nd of August. And again, they do have new things popping up that's Christmas related. And if you are brand new to Craft Stash and you haven't ordered, and there is a couple of bits there that you want to get, you can send through 2 orders. So if you want to get the 20% off or the 25% off something of those codes, do that as a separate order and then go back and you can register your email for their newsletter and they'll send you another code. I think it's 20% off your first order, so you can do in 2 orders like that to get the discount as well. So that will be on their front page, joining there. So if you click on any of the links down below, it will take you straight to the website, go to their home section, and there'll be a newsletter part there. They've also got a blog section too, so introducing you to the new design team members. That was really good. So Debbie's saying she's got her terrarium die. I think, was it you, Debbie, that made something, that made those white ones, and they had the feet and a bit of, I think it was you, and it had feet and it had a nice like decorative handle, I think, as well. Yes, you can use those as frames on the suitcase, definitely, and that would actually work well if you wanted to make a window in the front. So you can make a nice Christmas display inside, maybe put some fake snow in there and some lights and things. I was getting a bit carried away with everything, throw everything at it, the kitchen sink. So that is, I think that's cute just as it is, but I'm definitely going to use some of this vintage photo on there as well. So it is now 10 to 10, so my family have been really good. They've been having a computer games night, so they do that every Saturday now when I'm filming. So I'm going to go and tell them that I finished. Oh no, it wasn't you, Debbie, it was someone sent me a whole load of photos, and they were really nice terrariums, and they had all this metal stuff on it. I can't think of the words now, but they had like metal feet, just like the ones that I've used on the bottom here of this tray. And I think they added metal hinges, it had a little metal handle and a little lock as well. So thank you, Debbie, it looks lovely, thank you. So I just need to add the 2020 there. And then this is pretty much ready. I'll just carry on adding in my numbers, but then it's ready to go now, 1st of December. I have no idea. I think the pantomime is going to be cancelled this year. But we'll see how it goes. We're just going to have to take Christmas as it comes, really. So, okay, so I'm going to go and tell everyone now that they can be noisy if they want to. Chickens are in bed. And yes, so if you like this sort of thing, there's I've decided I'm going to do as many mini album related things as I possibly can now for my channel. So it's going to be a mixture of simply made crafts and a lot of mini album ideas and pages and things like that. And I will definitely add in a few gift boxes too, especially around the Christmas season. So Christmas isn't over for me yet at all. I'm going to keep adding some more, so make sure you're subscribed if you're new, and give me a thumbs up. I always forget people to give me a thumbs up, and if you want to give me a thumbs down, click that button twice. Okay, so I'm going to be going now, so thank you everyone for joining me today, and I will see you again very soon. So there'll be some more Christmas in July videos coming next week. So thank you everyone, have a great evening, and I'll